Alright YouTube, what is going on? It is Bigfoot here today, returning with some Airline Tycoon, and it's been a while, hasn't it? This is episode 7, it is, I guess, 9 months later than episode 6. Previously I had recorded episode 7 and 8 actually. Previously, way back going, it must have been last September, or maybe even before that, August, I recorded 5 episodes in a row. However, I decided to axe the remaining 2, so this is just at the end of episode 5, roughly. I've not got the exact save, unfortunately, but I've played pretty much from where I finished off halfway through episode 6, so there will be a wee bit of repetition for the first 5 minutes of this episode, but outside of that, I think we really just need to go and address really where we are with the airline. So for those who don't remember this game, basically the aim is to go ahead and just try and build up a really good airline and be better than all the other airlines in the airports. Currently the series is going relatively well. All 4 airlines are still in the business, and I realise if you've just watched the previous 6 episodes this is not going to make much sense, but I'm just gonna, I guess, give you a quick summary of how things are going, as I like to do every few episodes, I would say. So as we can see here, this is basically the statistics, and looking at it right now, we are the red, we're Phoenix Travel. Overall, we are doing relatively well. With regards to passengers, we're the leading airline, and we usually are, to be honest. I've also got one route in action as well, which we'll explore in a minute. But overall, we've only got 2 planes. That's the one thing which I'm not really doing too well on, and it's something I really want to go ahead and expand into quickly, or take over another airline. That's always something that is very good to do at the start of the game. One thing I do know, and it just seems to be a trait, every airline has a trait in this game, Honey Airlines tends to go bust quite quickly, so I do want to monitor that situation. With regards to flights and orders, we're up there as the best airline once more. Last minute deals, not overly bothered about, they're so hit and miss to be honest. Sometimes you can make really good money, but I very much try to have my planes, I guess, scheduled with lots and lots of flights for the upcoming days, as we'll look at my schedule in a second. With regards to shares and finances, not bad. It is, I guess we're second. From what I remember as well, Falcon Lines, their trait, I previously played them, so I guess Falcon Line's trait, when you play an airline, it overwrites that trait, if you will, but their trait is that they're very good with money and they always have a high share price and are really difficult to buy out, which is going to be extremely difficult to do. With regards to our actual accounts, we're actually quite low on money as well, and that's something which I do look to address very quickly. And then going back to the actual profit we've made from other stuff such as routes, we are actually starting to accumulate a bit of money, which is nice to see. Anyway, back to the planes. So currently we've got 2 planes, the Erfurt and the Cuxhaven. These are relatively similar sized planes, however they are very basic planes right now. Right now, they are doing a combination of orders and then some charter flights as well. The current route I said I have is Bangkok to Singapore, so that is flying relatively frequently and could fly a lot more frequently. However, it's just really based on the demands. Right now, it seems to be planes are full, which is nice. However, I'm not at all sure if that's going to stay that way, just based on the fact that I am going to be running the route probably quite a lot, I can imagine, going forward. So what I'm going to do, as we can see here, I've got these days scheduled up, which is nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip forward 2 days and just try and generate a bit of cash so I can go ahead and actually make use of it. So we made a good 1.3 million overnight last night. That's not going to happen too often, to be fair, and I think we'll skip forward to Wednesday as well. And up to 3.4 million, which is very nice. Some sabotage going on. And that reminds me actually, there's a lot in this game which you really need to set up, and security is one thing that I do want to do. However, I do want to check the bank first, just because I want to see really, I guess, everyone's financial situations more closer, I guess you could say, with the share prices, because as I said, I know Honey Airlines tends to go bust quite quickly. So for a little bit of, I guess, clarification, the stockholder that I am is Ignore Topolevsky, it could be. Ignore anyway, I'm the owner of Phoenix Travel. So as you can see here, I've got 100% control of Phoenix Travel, which is my airline, which I very much want to keep. Going around, I've got a bit of control in Sunshine Airways, only 14% mind you, and I could increase that, but I don't really see it being worth it. Additionally, there's a lot of room to go ahead and expand into Falcon Lines, but I'm not going to for now. But Honey Airlines, I've got 20% in, and the other owner, Mario, has got 80%, so I can't really tell where I want to go with this right now, to be honest. There's no large opening. To take over an airline, you need more than 50% of the stock control, which makes sense, and you need to make sure that no other airline has 30% of your control as well, which in our case we're fine with, because we're not going to sell any shares unless I go bankrupt, but I really can't see that happening now we've got a profitable route on the go. I'm going to speed the day up actually, and we are going to go ahead and come back in and look here at my flight scheduling. So we do have a lot of room actually for a lot more flights, which is nice to see. However, it's mainly just my charter routes right now which is scheduled in, so I think we're going to have to go ahead and look for some more orders from pretty much Thursday onwards on both planes, Thursday and Friday onwards, which will be great. I've sped the game up just because I want to go into the advertising office, but those guys are lazy buggers and don't open up till 12 o'clock midday. Okay, so let's have a look here and see what we've got. Singapore to Sydney on a Thursday we can do. With regards to distance, I think the best plane can travel about 7,000 kilometers. That one for Thursday is very doable, and it's a relatively good profit, so I think we'll take that one. What have we got here? Melbourne, that's not that profitable, though it does have a lot of flexibility, so we might take it. Again, another Melbourne one here actually. This one is a bit more profitable, so we might as well go for the more profitable one, and it's a smaller passenger count, which is always nice. Save a bit more money on fuel. Singapore to Delhi we can very much do, and that's until Wednesday, so that gives us lots of flexibility there. Until Sunday, and that's Singapore to Osaka, so we can definitely do that one. That's flexible, and until Tuesday. Geez, we're getting a lot of flexibility. I don't really think it's worth flying this plane at all though, because I only get about... I'm looking at penalty between premium. Right, I'm being stupid here. I am being very, very stupid here. It's been a while since I played this game as well, so I'm just, I guess, getting back into it as well. I have played it throughout I guess I must have played it not too long after I finished uploading, I guess, just in my free time, but I've not really been doing too much with it in the recent, like, 4 months or so, not since at least Christmas time. Right, okay, so it's now time to go ahead and try and fit all these planes into the roster, which should be easy enough. Not the roster, the scheduler, I should say. Right, okay, so coming back from Sydney, we can just shuffle you guys up a bit. One thing I'm going to definitely find very quickly is I'm going to have gate issues, just because I've got the 2 planes flying very frequently, and that is going to cause me some problems. Right, there's no flights here coming back from Sydney, is there? No. I could do Bangkok to Singapore. Our home airport is Singapore, for those who are wondering, by the way. So Bangkok, actually Singapore is closer, so we really should do a Singapore flight first. We stick you in there, and then that works out a bit better. Gate issues are going to be such a bad thing though. Right, now we're back in Singapore. I guess we can go back down to Melbourne. I'm just going to try and fit all these planes in on this Cuxhaven plane actually, all these orders should I say. So the Singapore flight can... It's really unfortunate, I've not exactly got many very good return flights, do I? I could do Singapore to Delhi, and then to Peking might be a tiny bit better. And then come back like that, and then Singapore to Osaka, that's just going to have to go like that. So it's not exactly the best, however it will do for now until we get more routes, because I eventually want to get to the stage where I got to with my Falcon Line series, where I just really only do routes and don't do orders unless they're going to be exceptionally profitable, which would be nice. With regards to this plane, not a lot going on here either, and just gate issues again, so I'm going to have to chase that up, because I think we're going to need a new gate very quickly, because I can't continuously have these problems. And I guess we do sort of have the money now to go ahead and buy a new gate. So that'll do for now. That'll carry me over into tomorrow, though there's 1 or 2 things I want to do today. So first of all, there's no new gates on order, which is fine. So that means we're going to have to ask for a gate to be built. So if we come and talk to you, and then I think you pay $1 million. Yeah, you pay $1 million, which is quite a bit of money, but it's going to be worth it in the long run, because although we did make $1 million each day the last 2 days, that's not going to continue. Eventually we will get to that stage where we are making that amount of money. So let's go ahead and get that. I need to remember to come back in tomorrow to actually rent the gate, because I've done that before. And then with that, let's go along to the advertising. As I said, I've got one route right now, but I'm not at all sure how advertised friendly the route is. I can't really remember, so I would like to improve the image of one of my routes. Singapore to Bangkok, so it's at 79%, so it's pretty much fine for now. That is probably why it is actually filling up all the time, because I've got a feeling my planes are very basic and stripped back right now. I've got a large feeling that I might land up selling one of the planes, because I would like to very much have similar types of planes consistently, or maybe only have 2 or 3 types. Very much like, I guess, low-cost airlines have. EasyJet and Ryanair, they typically only run one kind of plane. It saves them a lot of money on stuff like maintenance. It's probably one of the biggest things, and parts as well, because it really just means that you only need to have parts and stuff for the one type of plane. I guess I am trying to go for a low-cost airline approach. Looking at the actual map itself, if we can come out of here, I'm just trying to think, if we come along to here, this is the map I want to see, yeah. So from Singapore, where we are here, as you can see, we've got our Bangkok route in red there, but there's a lot of airports that we can fly to around here, and then there's a lot of subsequent airports in Asia that we can fly to as well. So we can very much go ahead and build up our low-cost budget airline. I wouldn't necessarily say low-cost, actually, I hesitated at that, but I do want to very much have a Southeast Asian airline flying and doing very well from here. Right, okay, so with that said, I think we can go ahead and end today and jump into tomorrow. And it looks like we made a little bit of money, maybe 300,000-400,000, but not too much overall. One thing is, our planes are actually kind of low on percentage. I know one of them basically needs a lot of attention, just because we landed up buying it. It's at 83%, the Cuxhaven, so that's a bit low for my liking, so we can maybe go ahead and upgrade that. Looking at the inside of the planes, it looks like they've had no work done to them at all. That's the Cuxhaven anyway, and then the Erfurt is the exact same, so that's something I might want to look to as well, and then I could actually start to go ahead and raise the value of my tickets. As you can see, it's 240 for second class and then 320 for first class. Not that I have any first class on that route right now though. Overall, I think we're going to get in quite a bit of money over the next few days though. Unfortunately though, it looks like I'm really going to be quite chock-a-block actually on the Cuxhaven, which is the better plane, but I do need to go ahead and fill up the schedule here for the Erfurt. However, the first thing we're going to do this morning is go ahead and... Oh, there's someone already in the room. Please do not tell me you've taken that gate. Gate 5, there we go, Phoenix Travels. Perfect, right, okay, so that means as of tomorrow, this blank gate will become mine, which will be perfect. So that means we can sort of increase our flights and make them just a little bit more regular, if we need to, that is. I'm not at all necessarily sure we need to, just based on, because we've only got one route and we're flat enough right now, but in case we get more routes in the future, which I'm looking to do. Okay, back in here, just having a look, not really any change at all. Share prices have drastically changed though. Honey Airlines is continually going down, which is nice to see. Falcon Lines is at 131, which is crazy. Ours are at 84, but are actually recovering from a wee dip, which is nice. And then Sunshine is a bit... looks like it's going back up a bit actually, but it seems to be very wavy. Okay, so let's go ahead, and today's Thursday, so we need flights basically from Saturday onwards for one of our planes. So let's go ahead and sort that out right now. Probably should go visit the security guy as well and see really what he's got going. Jesus, can we do that? I think we can. I think it's worth the premium, that's the thing, so it'll be a good profit. Obviously the penalty would bankrupt us, but I'm pretty sure we can fit that in. No problem. Until Tuesday to Peking we can do. Until Wednesday to Melbourne we can do. I like these untils, or untils, because it gives you so much freedom and flexibility. We'll do that to Manila because that's nice and short. Friday I can't really do it. And then Sunday I can imagine we can, just because it's only up to Bangkok and that only takes a few hours. Alright, let's get back into the office and see where we are at. Fill in our schedule with all these orders. So first of all, the main plane is the Friday plane. That is priority number 1. So if we go ahead and put that in there, there's not going to be any gate collisions as of tomorrow, just because of the fact that we have the new gate in operation, but this game's not quite got that in. For those who can't remember, this game is like from the year 2000. It is really, really old, so very basic in its way, but it's a classic Tycoon game. Really is. It's really, really good fun. And if you've not bought it, I recommend going ahead and do so. You can get it on Steam. I can't remember how much it is, but it's not a lot. It's like £10 or something. So it is definitely worth the buy, and you do get a lot of fun out of it. Anyway, let's go ahead and put in some Bangkoks to Singapore. I don't really see the point in going ahead and sorting much of this out right now, just based on the fact that these exclamation marks should disappear tomorrow. There's no nice way to really do this, is there? I think I just need to put all these flights in. It's really not pretty at all. Tell you what, we're going to jump forward a day, I think, actually, because I don't really think we need to worry about anything until tomorrow, and I really just want that gate to update well. So just having a look, I guess, at the overall statistics right now, we are seeing... okay, some not bad stuff from other airlines, actually. I mean, we're country miles ahead on passenger numbers, as you can see. But really, I guess, personnel for all of them and myself is actually kind of low, so I can maybe improve on that. And with regards to Sunshine and Falcon plane percentage, it's doing much better than mine as well, so I really maybe want to go ahead and improve on that. I've got a feeling though, just based on the plane percentage there, Honey Airlines, they're going to run into some trouble, and I've got a strong feeling about that. Just having a look at it in a bit more detail now, as we can see up here in the top right hand corner, Honey Airlines is on 5 planes, as is Falcon Lines. Falcon Lines has the money, they have the share price, Honey does not, so I've got a feeling that trouble is definitely brewing. Anyway, aside from that, let's go ahead and focus on ourselves. That flight obviously went down well this morning because my bank balance has jumped up to a nice 7 million, which is very nice to see, so very happy about that. Surprisingly though, we've still got no free gates. I've only got 2 planes and I've got 2 gates, so I don't see what the problem is. We've got the 2 gates now, so I'm really not at all sure if that's a glitch, because we've only got 2 planes and I've got 2 gates, so... Oh, there we go. Right, okay, yeah, I think I literally, yeah, it sorted itself out now, so I just need to literally take a flight out and put one back in, and it's updated nicely. So just having a look at my route right now, it's not making a lot of money, it's making about 40,000 per flight. However, I can, if I really go for it, I can have 6 of those a day, making me 240,000. However, for the time being, I am just, I guess, filling in the gaps, really, with orders. We now do have 7 million though, and that's quite a bit of money to go ahead and play with. So what I'm going to do is, we're sorted until Sunday. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump forward to Sunday, and then we're going to go ahead and explore our options. Realistically, I would like to expand into, and there we go, that actually backs up my point there with some more sabotage. So that's going to have another impact if that's on the image or the financial accounts of Honey Airline. But I can jump forward to Sunday anyway, and then I would like to get another route. However, I've really got a strong feeling that Honey Airlines is going to pop sometime soon, and I really just want to swoop in and buy it. And when you buy an airline in this game, you get everything that comes with it, so you inherit their routes, you inherit their planes, all that sort of thing, so I would need money for that anyway, which will be interesting. Oddly, the bank is open on Sunday, so we're going to go down and take a look and see if anything has changed on the share side of things, I'm not at all sure if things will have, to be fair, but I've not checked in a few days, so it's worth the check. Right, as we can see, there is literally no change, which I'm a bit upset about. Next thing I want to do, actually, I'm going to go visit the mechanic, because now we have a bit more money, I might as well go and try and upgrade my plane percentage, try and get it up to closer to maybe 100 or so, just so we can go ahead and, I don't know, I prefer my planes to just be a little bit more safer. I don't know if it does affect the image or not. I'm just trying to think. I don't know, to be honest. I didn't make this game. I guess it would kind of make sense, because if you have any faulty planes, then that could be a problem. Anyway, let's go ahead and please repair the planes as follows. I want to see how much it would cost. So right now it's at 83%. The airfort's actually doing really well, which is nice. So if we go ahead and aim for 100, that's going to cost 2.6 million. So let's just go for that. And I think that will be okay. And I think that's everything in here for now. Just because we've got 2 planes, the maintenance side of things is really easy right now. However, it will become a little bit more complex as time goes on. Let's go ahead and check out what planes are actually on the move today. Especially with other airlines, because I feel other airlines are very quiet typically. I mean, and that's one thing I've just remembered actually. So there's one Honey Airlines flight on the board today, and there's no other flights, because I would see more of them, just because you can get 4 arrivals and 4 departures on the screen at once. But what I remember is other airlines often don't operate out of this airport at Singapore here. For example, like Falcon Lines might go ahead and have a focus city in like Australia, and they might just do all their flying out of there, or they might just have their planes all over the world. So whereas I'm very much focused on the city that we're in, which is Singapore. Everyone's got different tactics, and that's why I've sort of gone ahead and changed the series up from my previous series with Falcon Lines. That was a bit more transatlantic and it was in Europe, whereas now I'm going for something a little bit different. I've now clicked on the wrong office though, which is a bit embarrassing. Let's go ahead and see. I don't think I'm paying for any security right now at all, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to monitor the office, the notebook, the staff office and the bank, because those are very important to me financially. If I do get hit by sabotage, it's going to happen anyway. I don't want to fork out too much money on, I guess, security right now though. However, that will do it for the time being. Right, so returning back to the office now, I'm not really at all sure what I should do now. I should probably maybe fill up the schedule a bit. I will jump forward to tomorrow. I want to take a new route, that's the thing, I really do, but I feel I maybe need a 3rd plane for that. So, I'm just wanting someone to make a move, I really am. And it's probably going to have to be me though. What we are going to do is we're going to spend some money, a tiny bit of money, on upgrading some of these planes just on the inside, because it doesn't cost too much. So that there is going to cost me 730,000, which is good enough to do. So we'll do that plane there, and then we'll also go ahead and switch over to the Cuxhaven and do the exact same thing, costing slightly more, an extra 30,000, but it'll definitely be worth it. And that's going to cost me 1.5 million all in all. That means I can probably actually go ahead and increase the price of tickets on my charter route from Singapore to Bangkok, and I think I might go ahead and do that. Right now we're still getting full plane, so I might as well go ahead and upgrade it. So can I remember how? I hit the I, and there we go, yeah. So I'm just going to do a subtle increase, not too large an increase. We're going to go up by $40, I think $40 is okay for me, and it updates both of them, which is perfect. No point in really modifying the first class price because we don't have any first class on either of the planes. Right, so as of Tuesday, I can go ahead and accept new orders, so let's go ahead and fill this up. And that is probably going to just about wrap up this episode actually. Going forward, I want to keep episodes a wee bit shorter than I previously did. I want to be very strict on the 30 minutes, because before I was very loose. Originally, if you've seen, or were gonna be seeing the original episode 7 of this, it was 45 minutes long, and I thought that's a bit much, so I decided against it, and I wanted to re-record it anyway, just because I wanted to go ahead and add, I guess, the new touch. I guess there's not really a new touch, but you know what I mean. It's very... Things have changed, let's put it that way, in the last 9 months. Right, I'm just going to take all those flights because I literally have a totally free week right now. We have literally no orders in right now, so let's go ahead and jump back in and very quickly schedule these. And then I think we are going to look forward to... I'll just stick that in there and probably ruin the whole schedule. We're going to go ahead and look forward to other airlines and into the next few days and maybe starting a new route as well, which will start in the next episode. So we've got 2 back-to-back Singapore to Hong Kong, so that needs to fly on Wednesday, which is not a problem. We'll go ahead and put in another Bangkok to Singapore in there, which is perfect. So much easier having these double gates right now, it is so much better than if we do a Bangkok to Singapore. That takes an hour or so off the Singapore to Melbourne flight, which we don't make any money on, unfortunately. Then Singapore to Hong Kong, again this can really go anywhere, so what we'll do is we'll now put that in on... We'll just do that back to back, to be honest, on... Yeah, that looks okay. It's a bit messy right now, I guess you could say, but that looks a little bit better. Thursday though, we actually have to fly on that specific day, don't we? Singapore to Manila. That's not a long flight at all though. And that works out nicely. And then, oh, we need to fly to Riyadh as well. Fortunately, ooh, the distance is too long. Right, okay, that might cause a tiny problem then. If we put in the Singapore to Riyadh there, then I think the other plane, our Airfort, can handle the Melbourne flight, which is good. So there we go, that's the problem solved there, and that's all our orders into play. One thing to note is the Cuxhaven has increased a little bit, it's up to 86% now, which is nice to see. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and fill in this a bit more, and just go ahead and pad it out right through until Thursday, which is easy enough to do. So let's go ahead and fill this in. I know there is an easier way to do this, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it quickly. Something to do with repeat routes, that button there, but it doesn't always work the best when you've got these orders in which are in green. That's the difference. And you also get brown, which is cargo as well. However, I so rarely do cargo. Right, so we'll leave a wee gap on the Wednesday evening, and then the Cuxhaven is pretty much sorted. So we're going to go ahead and skip forward one day. We'll go to the bank, and then I think we're going to wrap things up here. So interestingly... Okay, so it's Sunshine Airways that got caught out here with the exclamation mark and then the sabotage symbol by Honey Airlines as well. I've got a feeling that's maybe her trait. It must be her trait. She's very into sabotage, which, I mean, as some people are, so I guess it's a way to go ahead and knock your competitors out of the game, or at least damage them. Right, let's jump into the bank here. I've not been to the bank in a few days. I think it was Friday we were last in here, so let's hopefully see some change. There has been more shares issued by Sunshine Airways, hence my share has gone down. I can't remember what I was at, but I wasn't at 8% before. Falcon Lines is the same, Honey Airlines is the same, and I'm the same. So I could go ahead and buy more in Sunshine, or I could even buy some in Falcon. I might just do some very basic in Falcon actually. Is it worth it? I don't think it is worth it, to be honest. We'll leave it for now. Tell me what you think down in the comments section below, and I will take your feedback on board. Right now I'm not going to be doing too much mass recording, so it means that I will be able to integrate feedback with 1 or 2 episode delay. Anyway, I think we're going to call it quits there for today, ladies and gentlemen, so hope you have enjoyed my first proper video back. Again, if you have been watching this series from the start, like 6 months down the line, you're going to be very confused about what I'm saying, but it's nice to be recording again, let's put it that way. I hope my quality is still as good as it once was. I've not really been commentating, I guess, for the last 9 months, so it's quite weird to commentate again, actually, while playing a game, but it is very much good fun. With that said, there'll be more of this in the next few days. I'm going to try probably upload it every 2-3 days, with some transport fever in between, which shall be good. Leave me your suggestions down below, and I think we're going to definitely have to go for a new route as of the next episode. I was going to say tomorrow. Capacity use is only at 25% though, so I probably really should be flying that route a lot more, hence why I maybe need a new plane. So I might not go for a new route actually, because we do know it is very profitable if I do have it flying backwards non-stop. I can make a lot of money, and that's one thing very quickly we are going to check. God, that frame rate drop was very strange there. Anyway, as we can see here, that plane wasn't full. I've increased the price by $40, but that plane wasn't full, which is kind of annoying. Were these ones? No. And that one is, but I've made less profit. Very odd. Right, we might have to reduce the ticket prices because we're making less money there. I'm so confused at why that is though. Oh, the expense has probably gone up just because I upgraded the plane a bit, that's why. So I could probably actually increase the ticket prices even more. Arguably saying that though, there is some empty flights there. That's only got 174 passengers, so we'll keep monitoring that anyway as things go forward, but it's looking like we're not going to get a new route anytime soon. We're probably actually going to be pushing for a new plane, which we can start to go to the museum as of the next episode. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is all for this episode, so please leave a like, rate and subscribe if you are new around here. Leave your feedback, comments and suggestions down in the comment section below, and that is all for this video, so thank you very much for watching. My name is Bigfoot, and I'm out.